was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonah. And behold, a greater than Jonah is here. In this passage that refers back to the little book of Jonah, just 4 chapters in that book, it's one of the most controversial books in the Bible, but it's also one of the most thrilling and interesting books in the Bible. And you read it from one end to the other, and it's filled with excitement, but it's also filled with the gospel. He was looking forward to the gospel, to when Christ would come and would die on the cross and spend 3 days and 3 nights in the grave and be raised from the dead. We were in Florida just after Andrew came in. We went down to South Dade. We conducted a service. It was called a service of hope for the people there. Jesse Jackson was there. He came and sat on the platform and led a prayer. The governor of the state had invited us. And we saw a devastation such as we've never seen anywhere. I don't think Hiroshima or Nagasaki in Japan suffered anything worse than what you see today in South Florida. But it seems that so many storms and hurricanes are coming up this year, and others are being formed in other places. Then we read about Guam, and then the storm that hit France and Great Britain just 3 or 4 days ago that did such devastation in southern France. And here, these Pharisees and Sadducees and religious leaders are listening to Jesus, and they ask him for a sign. They said, "Lord, give us a sign. What kind of a sign will you give us to show that you're really the Son of God? You do these miracles, but give us a real sign." And Jesus said, "You are an evil and adulterous generation, and you're seeking for a sign. You want some big show to prove that I am the Son of God. But the only sign you're going to get, you'll get in reading the book of Jonah." Years ago, a front page story in a newspaper said that a 2-ton shark had been lassoed by an Australian. That probably was Crocodile Dundee. And also in